Okay, welcome back guys. It's 2022 and it's our first randka. Witamy na pierwszej randce Objectivism.pl w tym roku. And I'm gonna speak English because we have special guests from all over the border but also over the ocean. With us is Tsfany'ego, the CEO of the Ayn Rand Institute and Nikos Sotirakopoulos, director of Ayn Rand Institute Europe. And my name is Tomasz Kołodziejczuk on behalf of Objectivism.pl. Welcome to this, small meetup of online community of sympathizers with philosophy of Ayn Rand. And we are here meeting just to see what's up with the Objectivist movement, because conferences are back and Ayn Rand Con Europe is back, and it's gonna be on April 1st to 3rd in London. So let me show you guys on screen this beautiful 4K picture video live streaming from California, or where is it? Tsfany'ego, welcome. How are you?
No, I'm actually in just north of Atlanta, Georgia. So that's what my home base is. Good to be here, Tomek.
Good to host you. Nikos, can you say something? Can you show up yourself on a screen?
Yes, hi everyone from Athens, and looking forward also to seeing you in London. So Tomek, shall we say some things about London? Where do you want us to start from?
Guys, I want you to start from where is Ayn Rand Institute now, because we saw you in Warsaw 2 years ago. Then there was no conference because of this, all of us know this strange situation with pandemic. Now we have maybe even stranger situation in Europe, especially here in Warsaw. So we moved away to London, and Ayn Rand Con is back. So what is Ayn Rand Institute up to? How is Ayn Rand Institute gonna operate in Europe after these strange times are over? The stage is yours.
So let me start with Europe, and then Tal can talk to you about the big thing that happened in Ayn Rand Institute in the last months, which is the launch of the Ayn Rand University. So in Europe, we transitioned immediately to online events. We were having some online meetups, and we know that this is not as good as seeing you all in person. So whenever there was a window of opportunity, we tried to do things. We had a tour with Yaron last summer. Again, based on the restrictions, we did our best. There were countries where we had planned for Yaron to talk, and last minute he couldn't enter the country because of the restrictions. But anyway, this is the past. Now we're meeting in London. Why? Because it has a vibrant intellectual objectivist community, a bit like Poland, but also most importantly because there are no COVID restrictions anymore in London, in the UK. So it's a place where we know we can have a good time, we can meet with each other, and we don't have to worry what's going to happen. Are we going to need masks indoor, or whether we're going to be able to travel or not? So that's the one thing. So first, have peace of mind in terms of being able to travel. And the second and most important thing is we're all tired with Zoom. We're all tired with having to stay in front of a screen. So now it's time to meet in person. And the conference is also going to have a strong social element, social aspect. Networking, having panels on different topics having to do with personal development, career, how to apply the philosophy in your own life. So no matter what your angle of interest is, this event for people who are interested in ideas is going to be something which you shouldn't miss. And also, it's not only the 3 days of the event. On the build up to the event, the whole week actually, from Monday to Friday, the event starts on Friday. ARC, Ayn Rand Center UK, together with Ayn Rand Institute, they are organizing a build up event. So there are going to be panels on happiness, parenting, personal development. Yaron will be in London for events. Tal will be in London for events. Some other objectivists are going to be in London. So think about it as a week where objectivists from Europe are going to come together and have a good time, and at the same time learn and network. So this is the short version of what is happening. And after that, we're going to do even more what we used to do before the lockdown, which is events throughout Europe. But most importantly, encouraging people to build their own communities, to build their own meetups, their own reading groups. And we're here to help. We are here to make sure that, particularly when you kick things off, we can help you either with sending books, making sure that you can find venues, or sending some of ARI intellectuals every now and then to participate in your community and to contribute to your community. So that's the situation with ARI Europe. But the most exciting thing happening is the expansion of the educational programs of ARI. So Tal, have you got something to say about that? Oh, also, let me post in the chat the link for the conference. And also, if you're a young person and you are excited about the prospect of your intellectual development, apply for a scholarship. So apply for arriving to London. We can help you with the travel. We can help you with hotel. So make sure that you don't miss this opportunity and don't let the cost being something that stops you from attending. So I'm going to put the link in the chat.
We can probably easily say that those people who are in Zoom right now, guys, just click in this link and fill up this form. You are preferred to get a scholarship, but also whoever is watching us on YouTube, please do it while it's not too late. The conference is on April 1st to 3rd in London, and we're gonna get a little group of Polish objectivists going there. But Nikos, tell me, who is this conference for? Like, you named a European objectivist, but if somebody just learned about Ayn Rand and he's not like, he's a bit maybe afraid of going to the conference, it's just something that he or she liked recently, and why he should go there, or should she do that?
So
who is this conference for?
That person used to be me. So I had just started reading Ayn Rand, and I didn't know a single objectivist. I never seen, for some like more than a year after I started reading, I didn't know a single person. So this conference is for the person who has started reading Ayn Rand, likes what they're seeing, and it's the next step. So it's the next step in terms of, you see real life objectivists in 3 dimensions. So and you can find people who share the same interest. But also, you might be someone who is influenced, you like the ideas, but you might say philosophy is not my main one topic. So you might be more interested in politics, in business, in art, in morality. This conference is also for you, because what's the point of the conference? How do the ideas of the philosophy apply to your life? That's philosophy about. Philosophy is there and the rest of my life is here. No, philosophy is about your life. So if you're someone who have started reading Ayn Rand and you want to learn more, or you are enthusiastic about Ayn Rand and you want to ask questions to people who are experts, and you want to have discussion with other people who are philosophy geeks like we all are, or politics geeks, or again, you're going to be part of a weekend where we have many themes and about, again, art, personal development. So if you like the spirit of what you read in Ayn Rand, that life can be good, life can be great, life can be lived to its fullest, then that's the conference where you should go, because you're going to be part of this. You're going to be part of this world. And again, we're all so excited after all these 2 years of Zoom to go back to real work. So my prediction is this is going to be the best conference in Europe, and the one with the most energy.
But I think the website says that the deadline for scholarship already passed.
No, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So you can still apply. So it says March 1st, but because we have these events these days with good activists. So if you're a good activist, or if you are an intellectually curious young person, the scholarship is not over yet.
Is it a question? There is some.
Just Simon.
Okay, thank you, Nikos. So we are promising to bring some Polish people there. We are for sure. I'm going there, and probably Ziemowit, and probably some other people who are with us on chat. come, because as you remember, the last time in Warsaw we had quite a blast. It was a very nice conference, not only for, let's say, advanced objectivists, but also for people who just started exploring the Ayn Rand Institute, the Ayn Rand website, and the Ayn Rand philosophy. Tal, how are you in Atlanta, Georgia? Can we see you?
I'm doing really well. Things are good. And maybe just to continue on what Nikos said, we'd really want to see as many curious people coming. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be learning. There's going to be social events. It's really an opportunity to gather. And as Nikos mentioned, an opportunity to check what this is all about. And great that you're showing the website itself. Again, don't worry about the deadline. We will extend it to the right people. And if you know other people that are just starting their journey and they've just finished, one of the novels and they're interested to learn more and come, ask all of the most basic questions about objectivism, they're welcome. We're going to accommodate that while we're going to do some other things for more advanced students. What I want to update is that this is a part of a much bigger strategy called the Ayn Rand University, which has the mission to offer the best possible education to anyone who wants to lead an intellectual life. And by that, I mean it's a range from being a professional intellectual who dedicates their life to ideas, philosophy, or highly intellectual pursuits, all the way to what we call intellectual professionals, even if you want to be a software engineer. But intellectualism is really important to you, and you want to deepen your understanding in philosophy for your own sake, for your own life, and for the betterment of your understanding and your integration of the ideas. We want to offer a higher education level experience that allows anyone from the age of 18 or maybe even earlier, if they're really interested, to 25, 26, 27, if you are just getting those ideas, to come to what is now called the Objectivist Academic Center. People think like, just for philosophers. It's not just for philosophers. It's a school that teaches you about life, that teaches you about philosophy for life. We're going to add layers of personal application of this philosophy, so character building, and even networks of mentors on the spectrum all the way from business and technology and of course science and academia, to a network of businesses who actually prefer to employ people that are coming as graduates from our own university. So it's going to be a full-blown university. We're expanding the realm of subjects that we're going to teach, both horizontally of teaching more things, and vertically teaching in higher and higher levels, all the way from the undergrad level to the grad level, which we call the Objectivist Graduate Center, all the way to the junior fellow program, which is dedicated to people who want to be fellows in the Ayn Rand Institute and really dedicate their entire time to the study of objectivism and become intellectuals. So we give them extra attention, extra funding, because we believe that the world will change once we have a critical mass of people who are propagating the right ideas.
Okay, but we are talking about the Ayn Rand University now, or the Objectivist Academic Center. Okay, when I
Objectivist Academic Center,
Google it shows me
the Academic Center is part of. Yeah, so the Objectivist Academic Center is a program within the Ayn Rand University. We are working very hard to launch it in a completely new branded way. So yeah. Yes, it's going to be the OAC will be one program in the broader picture of what ARU is all about, the Ayn Rand University.
Sweet. And are you all coming to the Ayn Rand conference in Europe? Definitely.
I'm not only coming, but I'm delivering a workshop about happiness. I'm giving a talk with Gina Gorlin about the psychology of happiness. and I will be giving a talk, which is actually what you have on the screen, which is like, how do you know what you want? Yes, so what you want is the theme of my talk. I think one of the hard questions is, what do I really want? And I don't, just to give you a little bit of a context, you know, we are presented with Ayn Rand's heroes, all the way from We the Living and Anthem and The Fountainhead and Atlas, with people who are very clear and very motivated about their central purpose, what they want. They've defined it, they clarified it, and now they're pursuing it. But some of us humans are not that clear, and we don't know how to go about figuring out what it is that we want. And not to mention that we change over time and our needs change over time. So how do you really figure out what you want, which I think is the most strategic question one can ask about their lives, and how to figure out if what you think you want is what you need and what will make you happy. So a lot about that in my talk in London.
Is it possible that you sell us the answer now? Like how to find out what you want?
I would just say that it requires a lot of introspection, a lot of self-observation, because we have a lot of thoughts about what we should want, what we think is prestigious and what will make us money. And we don't derive enough evidence from our own experiences, meaning we don't observe what are the inputs and outputs. Like if I've done this, this is what happened. I was happy or not happy. How did I respond? Where do I lose time? You know, the sense of time when I'm doing something and I really have a lot of energy and a lot of fun. And how can I connect that to something that looks more like a career? So that's a clue to my overall answer, which is a lot of self-observation and a lot of techniques of self-observation. So in a way, you prove to yourself that your subconscious mind and your conscious mind are truly attracted, are ignited, and passionate about specific types of activities, specific types of subject matters, and then deliberately from within to the outside, after, of course, you've done a lot of from the outside to the inside, you drive the course of your life, rather than just, oh, there was an opportunity to become an engineer, so I went and become an engineer, and then that was a good salary, so I took it, and so on. You're just creating a midlife crisis if you go with that strategy. So owning your life, having the courage to take on something that you know you want and is meaningful to you is, I think, the challenge. And that's what Ayn Rand is trying to inspire us to do, to own our lives.
When I talk to my peers, we kind of agree that this challenge is the biggest now. I mean, now in our ages, like when you're about to finish your university or you just finished and you're like you're not sure how your career is gonna look like in the next 5 years, and you are about to make this decision. How about building your family? How do you continue doing your lifestyle? Are you trying to make more money now or still using your youth? Do you think that this problem with answering question what you want is getting a bit like lighter with time once you get older? Are you guys like in your beautiful gold age? Are you already like certain what you want? Or I wonder like if this problem is gonna be solved naturally, or there are some people who did not figure it out so far. Or maybe it's not even like obligation for people to do it. But that's another question.
I'll jump in first here. So let me give you a real life example. So I made something like a career change when I was 38, which was this year. So I decided that an academic career, I don't find it fulfilling. And therefore, there's something better that I can do in terms of how I spend my time, which is work full time with Objectivism. So there was a time where 38 you were considered way too old. But the question is, why would I, even if I have, whether I have 20, 30 or 50 years, why wouldn't I do what I really, really want? And Tal was running something he calls a happiness team. And we had people who were in their 60s. And the point was, even if I have 20 more good years or 10 more good years, why would I waste them doing something that I don't want? I mean, I'm going to live these years anyway. And in 5 years, wouldn't I have wished that I started doing something that I really like rather than finding myself in the same place? So I would say when you are young, you have more space, obviously, to experiment and all that stuff. But there's not a point where you should say, okay, now I don't need to find what I like. Because even if you have to live 5 more days with yourself, why would you do it in a way which is not something that you like?
So that's part of the question, the answer. I would say to your first question, Tomek, is I think the times are changing. You're right. We are wealthier. It's not like we have to make a living or we'll starve, right? Most of us will not get anywhere close to having that level of financial difficulty. So we're richer as a culture. And now I think what is available to us, the span of opportunities to manifest our passions and to express ourselves in life is growing with technology. Your ability to create startups in Poland. I was part of a mostly Polish startup and become successful on a global scale because of the globalization. So I would say, first, yes, there's more urgent need for you to define who you are and what you love about this life and to go about doing it because you have the opportunities and you don't have excuses of like, I can't make ends meet. I'm a very poor person in a very poor place. So first is to put food on the table. If your problem is to put food on the table, I have no argument with you. If really there are no other opportunities available to you, but this is not the case, not in Poland, not in many other countries. And it begs the question, I was like, so now what? If food and water and shelter is not my problem, now what? I always ask people who are really concerned with political issues, let's imagine for a second that we are living in the ultimate laissez-faire capitalist society. Okay, I give it to you. Now we're in no taxes, no coercion whatsoever. What now? And people still have to deal with the questions like, what do I want? No, I have freedom to do whatever I want. There's no political battles to fight anymore. What about myself? So I would say you start with yourself. Politics is just a means to an end, which is what do you want to do with your freedom? And then the answer is a lot of self-understanding and self-knowledge and proving to yourself that the path that you decide to take, the things you spend your time doing are worth your life, because that's what you're doing. You're spending your life day by day, hour by hour, by doing the things you do. And the question is, how conscious are you? How thoughtful are you in focusing on the things that are going to extract as much joy and happiness and fulfillment by deliberately figuring out what it is that you love. And nobody can tell you, by the way, what to love. Each one of us is different. You can see that. I'll show some really amazing quotes from Rand about the fact that it's a self journey. It's a journey to discover oneself, and nobody else can tell you how to walk your path. On the other hand, you have a moral obligation to not waste your time. And you ask a question that was alluding to that. Yes, you have to. If there's one thing in life that you have to do other than die, is to figure out what is your central purpose, how to express your human capacity in this world through a central purpose and a central productive purpose, because and it should be joyful and it should be full of motivation. Hard, yes, maybe sometimes. Sometimes you have to take right and left turns, but all in all, it should be your journey and it should be a very satisfying one.
But we have limited time on this planet, and it looks sometimes that to be able to discover what we like and what gives us joy and pleasure, we need to experience a lot. And how do you know if you like this type of career, if you like this type of relationship with men or woman, if you did not try it? So does the answer to this question, which is like below you, lies in a quantity of experience? No, because there is no unlimited quantity. We have to
So
judge
you don't need,
what
yeah,
experience.
you don't
we
need
to take.
unlimited experience, right? Because you can say that about any field of knowledge. Every living minute, you gather more evidence about the nature of your subconsciousness and conscious mind, right? The question, are you there to observe the inputs and outputs and your responses? Do you log them? Do you see the patterns in them? Or you just cruise through life saying, oh, that was fun, let's on move. You're not integrating things. You're not connecting. You're not deriving knowledge and evidence about what it is that really ignites you. You're not trying to link two things that you love together into one to make a new idea, to bring up a new idea of what you can be doing if you love this type of things and this type of thing. You should know slowly as you build. And I'm all for spending many, many years in your 20s discovering and taking. I think it's a mistake to choose a major when you're 18 and then go through an escalator, as they call it. Like you can't move right or left, an escalator to your 40 midlife crisis, right? So you should be purposeful. You should be thoughtful about every experience and taking the most out of it. And it's discovery. It never ends. But I'm not a medical doctor right now because I know that's not what I'm passionate about. So I'm not going to try it. Right? I know that I don't like many, many other things, and there are specific things that I really enjoy. So slowly I zoom into that. And when you're like in your late 20s, I expect you to have a decade or more as an adult person that you can derive from. So again, I don't want to give all my insights. You have to come to London to hear the rest. And I have to apologize. My time is running out. So I'll have to leave in about 30 seconds or a minute.
Okay, so maybe there is one quick question to Tal before he leaves from the chat. We have apparently 12 people here on Zoom, which I'm actually happy about because it was totally not advertised and not prepared meeting, and we are quite spontaneous here. As you can see, my studio is not with me today, but Tal is very well prepared, and we have 13 people now, even though it's hard to find the link to this meeting. Guys, if there is any question, you have opportunity to post it in chat right now. If I don't see anything in chat, then I will ask maybe last question to Tal.
Let me say one last thing. So anyone wants something about the conference, drop me an email and drop Tomek an email. He'll pass it to me. How is your conference different from Nikon and EFL 2022? It's different groups.
I have to leave. Sorry, guys. So I'll see you in London.
Thank you,
Tal.
CEO of
Bye,
the
Tal.
Ayn Rand Institute. Bye. Thank you. And now Nikos takes the stage.
More intellectual, Cesaro. Yeah. So it's different events. So I don't want to say what other groups might focus, but my judgment is that if you want a conference with the best advocates and the best thinkers on objectivism, our conference is the best. And I'm not saying it because I'm going to be there, I'm going to speak there, but mostly is what I told you. It's about how do you apply philosophy and ideas in your life. So that's what I would say. But the quick answer is it's different groups, so it's different conferences, and that's how it is different. Thank you, my friend. I agree with you. Our lineup is the best so far.
My mic is muted on the recording. How is it going in the UK? I saw that during the pandemic, you guys shooted, daily podcast on objectivism.
Yeah, Razi is doing a lot of work. So Ayn Rand Center UK, with which I'm also working together, they're doing a lot of things. So depending on what is your interest, they have shows from things like romance, art, philosophy, politics, parenting, finance. I don't know what I'm missing, but what's the biggest takeaway from this? Do things in terms of if you're an objectivist activist, be honest. So Razi keeps saying, and I keep saying, we are not experts. We are just trying to make sense of the world through the prism of objectivism to the best of our ability. We bring on experts, people like Harry Binswanger or Onkar and all that stuff. So I would encourage people to try to do more stuff and at the same time be sincere that this is the level of our understanding, and to the best of our understanding, we try to do things, create content and all that stuff. We're going to talk a lot in London also about activism, how to do better activism, how to be good communicators. But my takeaway from the experience of ARC UK, it's this balance between being enthusiastic and trying to do a lot of things, but at the same time be sincere on what is the level of expertise. So me and Razi don't go out in the world and say, or even Raga and Jonathan Honig, we don't say we speak for objectivism. No, we say we're students of objectivism and we try to make sense of the world. And I think this is the key of the success of Ayn Rand Center UK.
This is called Daily Objective, right? I wrote the name correctly.
Daily Objective is the daily podcast, but there are way more things that Ayn Rand Center UK is doing, and they have quite the success. So I'm quite proud and happy for how this thing is going.
Yeah, if you can shoot up the link in the chat so people know more about what Ayn Rand Institute Europe and Ayn Rand Center UK is doing, you can post it down there. You guys, of course, know Objectivism.pl, our fan page, and New Atlantis, Nova Atlantida, our Facebook discussion group. Maybe recently it's not very active, but it seems like this spring is gonna be quite hot, because there is not only New Intellectuals Conference and Liberty Con Europe, which was already mentioned, but of course there is Ayn Rand Conf in London on April 1st to 3rd. Also, we are running a small project for young activists, workshops to increase their activist capabilities and skills, and we will finish with the Laissez-Fest festival this June 16 to 19. So just stay in touch with us and follow the fan pages for sure. You will not miss the information once everything official and clear is out there. So this spring there are gonna be lots of events, not only for objectivists but for libertarians around our groups. Seems like pandemic is, well, hopefully could be over, or maybe we don't stop our lives because of this virus. Now we have a bit different problems over the border. Let's hope they don't increase. Nikos, you, from your perspective, do you okay, I don't even, for example, follow the news for the last 2 days because I was so busy managing smuggling some food, ammo, or clothes to Ukraine. So I don't even know what's going on in the war. Sometimes some people tell me, but I felt also today that some people from abroad, they know more from outside than I do because they have more time to follow the news, I guess. I mean, probably your answer wouldn't be original, I'm against war, but is there any objective assessment of this conflict, of this invasion, in your opinion?
So first of all, I would encourage people to check out New Ideal, the podcast of Ayn Rand Institute. Yesterday, there was a very good discussion with Elan Journo and Onkar Gat and Aaron Smith on the war. So my biggest takeaway from the war is, what's the saying, I think it was by Ayn Rand, that you can disregard reality, but reality is not going to disregard you. So all these years with Russia, the point was, well, who knows? And then at some point you wake up and you realize, oh, okay. When someone tells you that they're gonna do bad things, and someone has built their political career on promise of doing bad things will actually happen. If you ask me my personal opinion on what is the best outcome, almost there is no best outcome. So obviously I don't want a third world war. So I don't think that NATO can do much in terms of military intervention or military something. I would definitely stay away from that. And I would hope that the moral support in Ukraine and the economic pressure in Russia, there's going to be some sort of ceasefire. Each side is going to present it as victory. And unfortunately, things are so bad that at the moment, this seems the only possible outcome at the moment. So that's
well,
my.
Don't you believe there is possibility of coup and replacing Putin with some maybe more U.S. or Chinese-friendly president?
No one can know that. I mean, I hope, but how often have you seen a coup in Russia? So even in Soviet Union, the only person who was substituted was Khrushchev when the nomenclatura and the bureaucrats were not happy with how he dealt the '62 crisis. So one day they said he retired for health reasons. So let's hope that something like this happens with Putin. I'm afraid it's not. It's the only best case scenario. But again, who knows who's going to be the next one? There are other in Russia who are way more nationalistic than Putin. So I can only hope, but I haven't got the expertise or the knowledge to make a prediction. But that would be the best case scenario. Putin being taken down by some people who are a bit more reasonable and a bit more basically wanting to live a good life. I'm not convinced that Putin's standards is living a good life and enjoying what life has to give for himself and for the Russian people.
Oh damn! And this topic is overwhelming to me already, and I'm quite far from the conflict areas. So maybe what Netflix show did you watch recently that you liked?
Okay, that's gonna be super embarrassing. If I told you that the last Netflix show I've watched was last year and it was Queen's Gambit. So since then, I don't think I've watched any Netflix show from the beginning. I've watched a couple of shows, a couple of episodes, and I gave up. So Queen's Gambit was the last one that I watched from beginning to end.
Okay, by Netflix, I mean stream TV in general.
And the last season of Homeland. The last season of Homeland is fascinating. It's philosophically very problematic, but it's fascinating. One of the best TV series I've ever watched, Homeland.
Do I need to watch previous seasons to enjoy the last one?
Yeah, definitely. You have to watch from season 1 with Homeland.
All right, guys, if you want to shoot up some questions in the chat, this is the time, because we're gonna go to our conclusions soon.
Someone mentions Beria in Soviet Union. Yeah, actually, Beria was also, but he wasn't. Beria was never rose to be a leader. So when Stalin died, Beria was, some people thought he would be the next one, and he was taken out. But he was taken out before he got power. The problem with Putin is he's been in power since what? Since the 99, I think. And also, he has created this mechanism around him. And many of the people around him are yes men, people who only say yes to him. So the question is, who is taking him down? But again, let's hope. We see more and more people speaking up. And again, their life is being ruined by the economic sanctions. So let's hope that the message they will get is that this is on Putin, rather than, oh, the whole world is against us, which is what Putin wants to push down their throat. So tell us something about your book, says our friend. Oh, that's Zimovit. Yeah. Oh, I don't have it here. Yeah, I've written a book on tribalism. It's called Identity Politics and Tribalism, the New Culture Wars, which talks about things like racism, the free speech wars, or the gender wars, feminists versus red pill and MGTOWs and all that stuff, and how tribalism is the prism through which we see the world. I wrote it before the second stage of the pandemic, so I didn't have the vaccine versus not vaccine tribes, but I think it gives a good insight to the things that are happening today. It's relatively small. It's also cheap on Amazon. So thanks for putting the link, Zimovit. So yeah, that's I think it's a book that you can read in like 2 days, and it's good fun reading.
I'm sorry, Nikos, I didn't read it, but it's not the only book that I.
It's okay, you are excused. Yeah.
So guys, to conclude our short meeting, I'm very happy that there was 13 people at some point in this meeting. Of course, we will try to spam you more with links and remind you about the Ayn Rand Con in London. We are preparing small group of people. You are all welcomed and invited. We can get some shared transportation or Airbnb, or just see you in London. I'm sure there will be even more Polish people from the UK. I'm a bit like competitive here, and let's see if London can make a better party than Warsaw did. We were glad to host Ayn Rand Institute in Poland 2 years ago. Now it's time for the UK, so prepare your passports. Link is in the chat. Link will be in the description of this movie also. Register to Ayn Rand Con, meet Nikos, meet Tal, meet me, Anu, Ziemowit, and hopefully most of you who are with us today. Is there any chat? No questions. Good luck. I'm happy that you were here. Thank you, Nikos, for coming.
Thanks, Tomek. And you're talking people. Tomek has organized the biggest objectivist conference in the history outside the US with what was it, like 450 people? So very difficult that we're ever gonna surpass it. So you've put the bar very high.
Well, but it's not on us. We did some logistics, but the people were brought here by Ayn Rand, I guess, herself.
Let's see. Yeah, but you also did a lot of work. So kudos to you.
Okay, I'm gonna close up the recording and we're gonna off the record with some chill talk. Whoever wanna stay here in this Zoom room, stay. Bye bye YouTube. See you.